everyone. Today we are hitting two lessons, 13 and 14. But listen, they're tied together, all right? We're going to be just fine through this here. So some of this stuff, a lot of it actually, we've seen before. What we're after here is, hey, writing division expressions. And when we write our division, the big thing here is we don't use this guy anymore. All right, another elementary school thing that gets pushed off to the side. Think about it. What do we use a lot to represent our division now? Well, it's our fraction bar. All right, so that's the big ticket item here. Hey, fraction means divide. So that's something we want to make sure we are changing as we are going forward now. All right, so yeah, let's get a little bit more into it. So write an expression showing a divided by 2. All right, without the use of the division symbol. So a divided by 2. That's it. Writing it as a fraction. That's what we're looking at from this standpoint. Now, there's going to be some vocabulary words that come up here, and what we'll do is we'll slowly start to accumulate them. But there's certain ones that we want to point out here. So let's see here. Write an expression showing a divided by b without the use of a division symbol. Okay, all right, there. So we're going to use that fraction bar. So again, numbers, letters, no big deal. Fraction bar to divide. Look who shows up in the next problem, though. Write an expression for g divided by the quantity, all right, h plus 3. Okay, so first of all, that word quantity. Quantity means that you are going to use parentheses. So it's a group, in other words. So if we write an expression for g divided by the quantity of h plus 3, we would take g, divide by, I know you might be saying, you just told me not to. Yeah, I know. We're going to do something with this. The quantity of h plus 3. So it needs to be wrapped in parentheses. Now, like a lot of you probably thinking right now is, but you just told me don't. And you're correct. We won't. But I want to show you how it ties together. When we use the fraction bar, it already comes fully installed with parentheses. So I can use the fraction bar for division. I can put the g up here. And then I can just put the h plus 3 down below. Again, if it's written with our old school division symbol, I need those parentheses. But if it's written with a fraction, it means those parentheses are there. So that is something you want to watch for. Part C, write an expression for the quotient. Okay, quotient. This also means to divide. All right, so that's something we need to be aware of the quantity m reduced by 3 and 5. Now, this is one of those things of reduced by. We don't use that word. We don't use reduced by. So we ain't even going to talk about it. That's it. We're done. Moving on. All right. But yeah, quotient we did want to make sure we take care of because that does mean that we're doing a division problem. Okay, so let's see what we got going on here. All right. Well, that got a little awkward. Here we go. All right. So let's write it using the division symbol and as a fraction. So 12 divided by 4. All right. Sure, we're used to seeing stuff like this, but we're going to want it to look like that. All right. Let's go down to letter number 3, A divided by 4. So yes, A divided by 4, but what we really want is A divided by 4. All right. The quotient of 6 and m. Remember, quotient is another way of saying the answer to a division problem. So it is 6 divided by m, but like we said, we want the fraction bar. Let's see here. 7 divided by the quantity of x plus y. All right. So 7 divided by quantity means parentheses x plus y. But again, we want it as that fraction. And remember, because it's a fraction, we don't need to include those parentheses that are there. All right, let's get down to the very bottom that's there. Here we go. All right, some of the good ones here. Y divided by the quantity x minus 11. Okay, well, I just got through saying we were going to have some good ones here, and we didn't get a good one. I'm sorry. 7. 7's the good one. All right, but here we go. Y, all right, and then divided by, again, quantity meaning parentheses, x minus 11. But we want to see that. All right, 7 here. The sum of the quantity h and 3 divided by 4. Okay, so this one here, the sum of the quantity. Sum meaning that we're going to add. Now, sum does mean the answer to an addition problem, which means it already comes with the parentheses. So they're being a little redundant here, saying the same thing twice, by saying quantity. Typically, we don't see these guys together. So we are seeing this and then that. We don't want you to get in the routine of like, oh, let's put the letter up top always and then put everything else down below. No. The sum of the quantity h and 3 divided by 4. So what we really would like to see is that. All right, and let's see one more. The quotient of the quantity k minus 10 and m. Okay, so the quotient, so we are going to be dividing, but the quantity k minus 10 in parentheses and the m that's there. So again, what we're looking for is that. So a lot of this here is about repetition. We just have to see it more and more. We are learning a language. We are translating here, people, when it comes down to it. We are translating the information. So yeah, there's definitely going to be some awkwardness that goes along with it. All right, so let's take a look at lesson 14. This is going to be a much shorter one. They just want to connect the dots here. All right. Look at our family of friends regarding division that we've got here, all right? Yeah, look at that. Look at the division symbols, all right? Isn't that nice? Okay, so here's what we are after. We're going to translate. So they've given us that division symbol, but if we slide over to the fraction bar, we want to make sure that we realize it looks like that, okay? And again, this is h divided by 16, okay? If we're using that symbol, this guy is who's on the outside. And so if we kind of take a trip down memory lane, if I was doing 325 divided by 5, our setup would look like this. Whoever we're dividing by is who goes on the outside. And in the other box, they just wanted words. So h divided by 16. And that gets the job done. Divided by quotients. All right. Those are definitely things that we can end up using here. So let's do one more. 7 divided by x. Okay. So if you give me that, I can tell you this, 7 divided by x. I can also tell you this, 7 divided by x. And then for the last guy, since we're dividing by the x, that's who goes on the outside. That's there. I'll be honest here. This is one of those where we're not too interested in lesson 14. Yeah, all right. Lesson 13, absolutely. 13's got all the good stuff. 14 just kind of ties things together, but we don't really use this a whole lot. We're not going to be using this a whole lot. It's these two guys that are left over that we're going to really be focusing in on, that we're going to be using moving forward. And that's what your lesson 13 is all about. Yeah, all right. All right, so that's it. We're out here, guys. We will see you later. Bye-bye.